Britt Baker fans, I got some news that you are going to want to hear. In this video, I'm going to tell you all about it. Britt Baker, one of AEW's biggest stars, has single-handedly been misused for the last few years. And I don't know about you, but I am freaking sick and tired of seeing it. But according to this news, there may be change in the air for us. There may be change in the air for Britt Baker, and for one, I hope that's the case, because Tony Khan in AEW, well, he's done a lot of interesting things with his company over the last 9 months, including rebuilding the AEW women's division. For years and years, month in, month out, week in, week out, in the early days of AEW, All Elite Wrestling was represented by its women's division through Britt Baker. She was not only their top female star, but she was one of their biggest stars. But in recent years, as AEW has brought in a lot of new talent, both male and female, well, some of those talents that were shining stars, homegrown talent, well, they were pushed to the side because of Tony Khan's new toys. Britt Baker was a victim of that, because if you go into the early years of AEW, Britt Baker was the driving force behind the AEW women's division. Now, in recent years, probably 2021 on, fans really got sick and tired of the AEW women's division due to the lack of booking, whether it be lack of talent, whether it be lack of television time, whether it be lack of matches just purely booked on TV. And Tony Khan has done a very good job in recent years of kind of changing that around by signing new talent and pushing existing talent as well. He has brought in the likes of Mercedes Moné and Soraya and Deonna Purrazzo, and he's brought back the likes of Serena Deeb and Thunder Rosa. And we have seen the arrivals of Mariah May, and the introduction of Willow Nightingale from a Stardom, and of course the obvious job that they did with Jade Cargill, although she's no longer there. And we've seen the just evolution of Timeless Toni Storm and what great things Julia Hart did as well. Now, when it comes to Britt Baker, though, she's been off television for quite some time. In fact, Britt Baker, she had her last 2 matches in September 13th and 16th to be exact. Okay? She wasn't used on television that often in 2023 before then, especially considering where she came from. And there was the belief for months and months that she was actually dealing with an injury, and that is why she hasn't been used on television. But in fact, for months, it's been said that she's ready to go. She's just waiting on creative. Well, while appearing on Busted Open Radio, Diamond Dallas Page, DDP, bang! Well, he gave an update on Britt Baker. He said she's been off TV for a while because of an injury. She's coming back. She looks amazing. Her body looks great. And she was blown away by the pump that she got. She was live and ready to go. She was a little intimidated by the cold plunge, as most everybody is who has never done it. She got in there. It's all mental. Within a minute, she owned it. She stayed for 3 minutes. It was like 41 degrees in regards to talking about it. And hanging out with her for the day, he said it was a great day all around. Just talking about the business, what she wants to do when she comes back and all that. She's a top talent. You're looking at men and women, you're looking at Britt. When she's done as a character, as a promo, and what she's done in the ring, I'm looking forward to seeing her get back, end quote. So thanks to Fightful for those quotes. But there's actually a lot to break down there. So he got to hang out with her for the day. He's seen where she's at physically, which is very, very important, but more importantly, mentally, because even before she disappeared from television, even before she was sidelined with the injury, she was kind of critical of AEW and Tony Khan, because she actually noted in a tweet last year that she was not given a single minute of promo time, which is actually quite shocking, considering that she's, I would say, at least top 5 best talkers in AEW's women's division. She's probably top 10 in all of AEW's talent roster that can cut promos. That's surprising, right? Because in the pandemic era, yes, she had very, very good matches. especially with like her feud with Thunder Rosa. That was one of the greatest women's feud in recent memory, in my opinion. Like their lights out match at Daly's Place in 2021 was remarkable. The storytelling in which they brought in that match, aside from the tacks and aside from all the weapons in which they used, it was remarkable what they were able to do with the arc of that story, the arc of that feud, everything that they put into the feud, going into the match, and coming out of it. Now, with Britt Baker, she is going to have to really, really decide what she wants to do here, because I think a more important note is with her impending return. It's coming. What does she do? Is she going to stay in AEW as a lifer? And she has her longtime boyfriend Adam Cole there with her, and she has all of her friends there? Or is she going to take the leap and go to a WWE where, honestly, I think her career would be better off there. I think WWE would book her better there. Now, you do have to take into consideration her dental career, right? She's a dentist in real life. But she has talked about in past interviews, including one that I posted on Wrestling News Co. In January, where she was talking about how her dental career has changed very much so in recent years. Yes, she has to deal with kind of crazy fans, but her business, and because she's so popular and well known, especially in her local area, she has just decided, you know what, I'm going to work. She has her own practice, right? She has her own business. And so she's just going to deal with her clientele that she has dealt with for years and years. And she is either very, very selective or just simply doesn't deal with new patients. And I think that's actually very smart for her own safety in that regard. Or at least put some type of safety measures into place just to keep her safe. Now, when she does return to AEW, I think Tony Khan, and I really wish there was an update or some type of news that would come out that would tell us Britt Baker's AEW contract status. I think that would help this situation quite a bit, because if her deal's coming up, you would think that Tony Khan would do everything in his power to re-sign her, because she is an extraordinarily talented wrestler. Like I said, one of the best promos in the game and a very, very solid wrestler. Compared to where she came from in 2019 to where she was, at least in 2023, you got to give your hat off to her. She's really, really worked at her craft. She's really gotten a lot better. And for me, I can't wait to see what they do with her. I mean, think about all the matches that she can do, whether it be Mercedes Moné or where Toni Storm is, or Julia Hart when she comes back, or Willow Nightingale, or Toni Storm. I said Toni Storm, Mariah May. Like, there's so many people that she can work with that the possibilities are endless, and I really, really do look forward to her return.